beautiful souls. Welcome back to another beautiful podcast episode with me, Renata Sophia Müller. And today I would love to talk with you about my own journey of healing my own voice and reclaiming my voice, and how healing my voice and finding my voice truly changed everything in my life. And I want to tell you more about my story of why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm helping now feminine leaders to activate more of their voice, why I'm helping others now to build their podcast as a platform to speak their truth on. And this is truly a mission that I was born into. And I was born to lead a movement around speaking your truth, around reclaiming your voice, around being your unapologetic self, and being loud and proud and owning the stage. Because for most of my life, I've been quiet. I have been silent. I grew up in Germany, and when I was at high school, I had no friends at all, and I felt like I didn't belong. Felt like I didn't fit in, and what it made me silent. Like, I became really quiet. I became super shy, and because of that, I totally shut down my truth. I totally shut down my true authentic self, as it didn't feel safe for me to speak my own truth. And what you also need to know that at the time, I needed to move to my dad's. So my parents split up when I was about 4 or 5 years old. And when I was, I think when I was around 10, I needed to move to my dad's place because my mother was really mentally ill. She had a psychosis, and she needed to go to a clinic. So that's why we need to go to my father's. And I always felt like when I was at high school, that I didn't really have a mom. Like, I compared myself a lot to others, and I felt like I didn't have that motherly support. And I think because of that, I just didn't feel safe enough to truly be myself and to speak my truth. So yeah, because of that, I totally shut down my true authentic self, which was actually really wild and free, and I was really joyful. I had so much joy in me and so much play. And for anyone who's listening and who knows me in person, oh my goodness, I'm so expressed. I don't hold back. I'm totally myself. I laugh a lot, and I'm just a joyful little silly kid, basically. But I totally shut down this part of me, as it didn't feel safe for me to be that authentic, silly, fun me at school. And I also remember how lonely I felt. And the only friend that I had, she kind of left me alone during break times. And that felt so devastating for me. I felt really abandoned, and I had to navigate a lot of abandonment wounds when I was younger. And yeah, so that affected my voice. So whatever you experienced as a child, whatever trauma you experienced, that will affect your voice, because your womb and your throat are connected. And yeah, whatever trauma, if it's maybe a sexual trauma you experienced, any sort of abuse, for me it was basically that I felt like I didn't have that motherly support, and that affected my voice, because that is really connected with the womb as well when you have some sort of mother wounds. And yeah, so the womb throat connection is super, super interesting. And maybe you can even reflect that in your own life, where in, like, in what situations are you maybe holding back your truth? Where are you not speaking your truth? And is it maybe connected to some sort of trauma that you experienced as a child? So, yes, so I was just a really quiet one at school. I was so shy, and no one really knew who I was. No one knew who I was. I was playing the good girl and the people pleaser for my entire life, since childhood, because I didn't want to be ignored. I didn't want to feel alone, because I was really afraid if I would speak my truth and how I'm actually feeling, that people would reject me, that people would abandon me. And that's why I totally shut down my voice. And yeah, school just shaped everything. My voice, how I showed up in my world. And and I also believe that I had a lot of throat chakra blocks that I had from past lives. So I really believe in that too, that the generations before me, like the women before me and also my ancestors, they couldn't really speak their truth because they would have been punished for speaking the truth, for shining a light into this world, for expressing who they truly are. And I feel like because we are connected through DNA, through blood, to our ancestors, to our generations, to our grandmothers, that carries to you as well. So that's why I feel like it's now our job to actually look at these wounds, like the witch wound, for example, the persecution wound, the priestess wound, and really look at those and heal them and alchemize them so that you feel free in your self-expression, so that you feel free with your voice, so you can use your voice for the highest good of all and the divine plan. Because now we're moving into this time. It is the year 2025. The world is changing. Everything is changing so quickly. We are being asked to step into the next level of leadership. If you are a leader of light, if you are mission soul, it's time now to step into the spotlight. But if you still have the witch wound running deep down, if you still have maybe some childhood wounding where you've been shut down in speaking your truth. So, for example, not only I had this experience with my mom and also at school, but also I experienced a lot of trauma with my grandparents. And my grandparents, they grew up during war times, and they had a lot of like post-traumatic stress in their system, post-traumatic trauma responses. So whenever as a child I did a little small mistake, by even maybe saying something wrong, or doing something wrong, I was a little bit clumsy as a child. So even when I just broke a glass, my grandparents, they were shouting at me. And that affected me as a child. I just thought it's not safe for me to speak my truth. Otherwise, I will get punished. Otherwise, I will get attacked. And as you can see, there's a connection there with past lives where, in your past life, maybe you lived in beautiful Avalon, and or somewhere else, and you were maybe like a priestess, or you were a witch. or you were called a witch in one of your past lives. But all you did was expressing yourself and sharing your truth and maybe healing, making some sort of herbs. And others perceive that as a threat, right? So you were punished for just being yourself, and you were killed, persecuted, you were burned alive for speaking your truth. So maybe you can reflect, you can look at your own life, like where is this maybe still playing up with you? Where are you maybe still playing the good girl, the people pleaser? Where are you totally shutting down your truth? Where you don't want to say no, like where it's really hard for you to have any boundaries. So for me as a child, it was always really hard to have a boundary, to speak my truth, to speak up, because also with my parents, there were no boundaries at all. It was almost like they were me and I needed to take care of them. Like I felt like I needed to save them. And I was the rescuer, I was the hero. And often if we experience that as a child, we take that into our adulthood and we play out those roles, right? We still have like some nervous system responses where we are people pleasing, where we overextending ourselves, where we're overgiving. And this has been playing out so much in my entire life, where I never truly said no to people. Like I was so agreeable, I was such a good girl because I didn't want to be ignored. I wanted to fit in, I wanted to belong. And then how it affected my life, like it affected every area of my life. Like the first relationship that I ever had, like the first true long-term relationship that I had. I had relationships before that, like, but they were maybe just 6 months, and yeah, like, yeah, they were not really that serious, let's say, or maybe just for 2 weeks or whatever. Like that, yeah, you can't really count that as like a serious proper relationship. So the first relationship that I had, it was with someone that I met in New Zealand, and I totally fell in love with him, and I just played the good girl with him. The whole relationship, I think after 3 years, he proposed to me. And even though my heart and my soul were screaming no at the time, like it didn't feel aligned for me at all to marry him. Like I knew deep down he wasn't the one for me. But because I couldn't say no and I didn't want the relationship to end, I just went ahead and said yes. Even though that wasn't my truth at the time. It wasn't my truth at all. So yeah, and there were so many situations in my life, like in my business, where I was overgiving to clients, where I said yes to things, where I totally pushed through because I thought that I'm only valuable if I do something, and I'm only of, value if I'm agreeable as well. So there have been just so many unspoken truths in my life, and I always felt really left out, and I always felt really behind, and like no one really truly heard me or listened to me. And basically when you carry those wounds, your traumas into your business, this, like, it will reflect back into your business. Like you will have people kind of pushing your boundaries a lot. And the thing is, if you can't say no to people, you might maybe just take on a lot of work, a lot of client work, or you might take on people who, have, like, who are maybe a lot of work in a way. And I say that with love. So yeah, it will play out in your business, and you will get that reflected back in your business. And just in your leadership as well, you get a lot of challenges where you actually need to step up. And when it comes to the sovereign queen and stepping into your sovereign queendom and being the sovereign leader of your life, like the sovereign queen will initiate you. And if you truly work with the queen cards, it is time for you to start saying no to things. It is time to stop playing the good girl, to stop people pleasing, and truly becoming the sovereign queen of your own life. And what really helped me in healing my voice was to start my podcast. It was truly a spiritual awakening. It was a sign from the universe, from my guides, to start my podcast. And that was 6 years ago in 2019. I was doing work and travel at the time in Canada. And oh my goodness, like I was in Western Canada in such a spiritual place. And I loved that I started there. That I had that calling to really use my voice and to share a message. Like I had this burning desire to share something. I had no idea how to start. I was purchasing a course at the time. To start me, I was reaching out to so many of my friends. Hey, how do you start a podcast? Can you please help me? And I got some support. And that was like the best thing ever, to actually get some support. And allowed myself to be supported in that process. And yeah, what truly helped me was, to share my story, to share my voice through a podcast. And that just changed everything for me. Like it unlocked the next level of my voice. It activated my voice. It healed my voice because I allowed myself to be seen and heard on a global level. And because of that, I healed years of generational trauma. I healed the witch wound on a really, really deeper level. And, at first, my voice was shaky. I was freaking nervous. I had all these beliefs and thoughts of like, who will listen to me? Who am I to start a podcast? My voice doesn't matter. Like I had all these like beliefs and voices in my head, like that I don't freaking matter. And, and who am I to start this? But my calling was so strong in my gardens. Like my guides were telling me, this is the way. This is the way. You need to do this. Even if I had no idea why I was supposed to start this podcast. But I started it anyway. I started, and even though my voice was cracky at the beginning and I didn't know what to freaking talk about, I just started. And it was the best thing that I ever did in my life. It was the best decision ever. And it changed everything in my life when I started my podcast, when I allowed myself to be seen, when I allowed myself to share my story with the world. Because what actually happened is that I shared my message, that I shared my quotes with the world. And as a result of that, I had so many of my friends and family reaching out to me that I really moved them, that I really changed their life. Like I had random people reaching out to me and saying that their story truly helped them and healed them. And like it just really did something on a deeper level with them. Like it helped them on their own journey. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I am here to help humanity rise. I am here to help humanity step into the new earth and be of assistance, be of service with my gifts. And my gift is my voice. My gift is to speak my truth, and your voice carries the frequency. It is a sound that goes through the echoes of time, and it recodes the entire structure of the planet. It really recodes everything in the quantum. And oh my goodness, like the power of sound, the power of frequency, it's something that is like, it can't be measured, it can be only felt, but it changes the fabrics of the reality itself. It's like so freaking powerful. So powerful. And oh my god, like I impacted so many people. Like so far, I had over 10,300 people listen to my podcast, but also including all the interviews that I've ever done with on other podcasts. Like I had so many eyes and ears on my story, and like oh my god, like it enabled me to have the most amazing collaborations. Like I started to work for other podcasts because I started my own podcast. Oh my god, like I interviewed the most amazing leaders on my podcast, and because of that, now I can actually help other feminine leaders with their podcast and activate more of their voice and step into the next level of their leadership, because I have walked the path. I have so much experience in that, and I did so many mistakes along the way. There were so many trial and errors, right? And what also truly helped me to heal my voice was mantra chanting. And oh my goodness, there's so much power when you chant sacred mantras. They're so freaking powerful. I like years ago, it was in 2020 when I broke up with my partner at the time. And when I went to Australia, everything shifted for me there. Like I started to create my whole life here. And yeah, that's when I truly healed even deeper levels of my voice, like on a somatic level, because you need to feel safe within yourself to speak your truth. And mantras are an amazing tool to activate your voice, to warm up your voice before you record an episode, for example. And like it allowed me as well to like my singing voice. Like I allowed myself to sing out loud. And I always loved singing so much, but with my ex-partner and a lot of other friends in my life, they said to me that I'm not really good singer and I can't really sing that well, so I have shut down that part of me. But when I truly allowed myself to sing out loud with mantras and just go into the trance and don't really care about how, like what I sound like, that shifted so much for me as well. And people started to say to me that I'm actually sounding really good. And I attracted a partner who's a musician, and he, like, we started to play kirtan songs together, and started to play the harmonium and all of that. And he said to me, if I really train my voice, I can become a really good singer. So, oh my goodness, I just want to tell you, anything is freaking possible. Like, even if you thought that you're not a good singer, if you train your voice, I actually believe that everyone can be a really good singer. So yes. So I really need to learn to feel safe in my body to express myself fully, and to use my voice, to claim my voice back and the power of my voice. And yeah, the rituals are so amazing before you start recording an episode, any vocal practices, you know. And after I reclaimed my voice, I had so much confidence in showing up in my business. I had a deeper intimacy in my own relationship. I magnetized more clients into my world. I I started to podcast with ease and flow. And as you can see now, I can just flow with my episodes. Like when I started out 6 years ago, oh my goodness. So I was in front of my editing platform. I started to press record, and I kid you not, after almost every sentence, I stopped and I was like, do it again, because it wasn't good enough. Like I was like, I wanted to also be perfect. And it took me a long time to also open up my channel. And quantum healing helped me with that as well, like doing a lot of like the subconscious work. And I'm a certified quantum healer, and I'm combining that into my podcast work as well. And it also helped me with building up my confidence and my self-worth, and that also affects your voice as well. So yeah, and now I can free flow, but that didn't happen when I started my podcast. Like I had so many perfectionism codes in me. Like, oh my goodness. And I just want to let you know, like, if you've been feeling really stuck in your throat, if you've been feeling like there is another level available for your voice and stepping into more visibility, I truly see you. I truly honor you. And thank you so much for listening so far. Because it's not an easy journey to reclaim back your voice and to heal your voice. It took me years. Like it took me 6 years to come to this place of like, I can just freely talk to you. I can be myself, and I'm not afraid of shining my light and being myself on my podcast. It's been a journey, and it's been really a journey. And the first step is really, allowing yourself to just start to speak, use your voice. And by doing it, you're already doing the healing. You're already doing the healing. So this is also now an invitation to join me for the Podcast Queen Academy. So the Podcast Queen Academy is a 4-month container. It is a mastermind / mystery school. There is podcast strategy, and there's feminine embodiment, and there's voice activations, and there's guest speakers, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's like a freaking playground. Like we just get to freaking play together inside this beautiful container and launch podcasts in an ease and fun way, like where we get to be just our most authentic selves, and where we reconnect just with our beautiful soul frequency and our unique soul blueprint, and where we also connect deeper with beautiful Isis, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and have them as beautiful guides to help us to step into the next level of leadership, impact, and visibility. And it's really time now to use our voice for the highest good of all, and to share our medicine with the world, and to share our magic, and to truly remember who we truly are on a soul level, and to share that with the world. And, like this is just not another program. Like I'm not just teaching you how to freaking launch a podcast, how to start a podcast. Like we don't just do that. This is a freaking portal. This is a frequency upgrade like you've never experienced before. This is like another way of podcasting you haven't seen before. It's like the divine feminine way. It's a unified way where we also co-create with our divine inner masculine who holds us, where we get to truly feel safe to speak our truth, And I'm so honored. I'm so honored to be able to hold this container now, because it has taken me 6 years to be able to truly, it has taken me 6 years of embodiment, of going through trial and errors with podcasting, with my own voice. It has been a long and hard journey. And it makes me really emotional when I talk about this, because I always dreamed about sisterhood and, truly creating a place of belonging. And this is a place where women get together and we get to be our most authentic selves, and we get to podcast together, and we just get to have fun and connect and share our truths. And to be able to hold this space is an absolute honor, to walk side by side. And if this calls you, if you have this soul nudge to like, oh my goodness, this freaking activates me and I want to hear more, and oh my God, please tell me more, I invite you to reach out to me. Send me a message. Send me an email. Send me a message on Facebook, on Instagram, and we can schedule in a call to see if it's in highest alignment for you, in your highest timeline, to join this program. And at the end of this program, you will be the most liberated, sexy as fuck version of you that you have never experienced before. Like, seriously, you will be so unapologetic, self-expressed, fully owning who you are as a leader of light, as a freaking queen. Like, you will become the podcast queen. And you will rule your freaking podcast empire, and you will sit on this throne and speak your truth no matter what. And you will share your story unapologetically. And it's time now, Queen, that you claim your throne. It's time now to join the Podcast Queen Academy and be the leader you wish you had. Be the leader you wish you had growing up. And start leading the way for your tribe. Start leaving a legacy, because a podcast is truly a legacy of light that you leave on this planet. It's something really similar like writing a book, like an audiobook, and you leave this behind for the generations after you. And it's also for your ancestors. They have been praying for times like this, and you are the answered prayer to your ancestors. And it's time now that you recognize this responsibility and this opportunity here to make your ancestors proud. And one day, the generations after you, they will call upon you because you will be their ancestor. And they will need your guidance. And you can help them because you went first. You led yourself. You had the hard conversations in your life. You took the leap. Even if there was a lot of fear. So beautiful one. If this calls you, I invite you to reach out to me. And thank you so much for listening to this episode. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm truly honored that you took the time. And I love you so much. From my heart to yours, your Renata Sophia Müller.